let's talk about revenge, shall we?
Sisu, Road to Revenge. So you'll remember that the first one was this Finnish film John Murray Helander, who made Rare Exports, Big Game, and said Sisu is a Finnish word that cannot be translated. It means a white-knuckle form of courage and unimaginable determination. Sisu manifests itself when all hope is lost. And the original was set in Finnish Lapland 1944. Man of Few Words, ultimately played by Jorma Tommila, maybe? Yeah, maybe 2 L's, maybe Tommila. Anyway, who's actually the brother-in-law of the director, as it turns out, has found gold. He's heading home. He also finds Nazis. The Nazis do not do well. And he survives being drowned, blown up, hanged, shot at. Impaled on a spike. There's a point when somebody says, "Do you really believe he's immortal?" To which they reply, "No, he just refuses to die." So that was basically the first film. As I said, there was a highlight in which he dispatched a Nazi by throwing a landmine at his head. And it was definitely a film that adhered to the Indiana Jones rule, which is it's okay to hate Nazis. This time, however, it's okay to hate the other side, to hate the Reds, or more precisely, the Soviets, whom Finland have been suspicious of for some time. So it's 1946. The man who refuses to die returns to Soviet-occupied Karelia, where his family have been butchered by Igor Dragunov, played by Stephen Lang, who is now...
He's got to sound like a baddie, hasn't he?
He's very bad. He's now in a Siberian prison. So our wordless anti-hero dismantles his home, puts all the wood from his home on a truck and heads off on a double mission. One, to rebuild his home somewhere else. And secondly, to wreak vengeance on the people that did terrible to his family. Meanwhile, Igor Dragunov is being told in the prison, right, you've unleashed this terrible killing machine. Go sort it out and go finish the job, which he tries to do. Here's a clip.
I think the legend has been homesick. Go on.
That's all you need.
That's
Definitely.
it. I mean, I love how much you enjoyed just the sound of it.
Well, I think the legend has been homesick, and then the sound of him clearly dismembering a whole bunch of Russians.
Exactly. So apparently, 11 million euros, this is the most expensive Finnish film ever made, although that is like saying the most exciting garden in Watford, isn't it? But anyway.
Not a lot of money, is it?
No, but it looks fantastic. So the director has cited as inspirations Indiana Jones, James Bond, and Buster Keaton. And critics have cited Fury Road and John Wick. Fury Road because a lot of it is in a truck, and John Wick because any single object that he puts his hands on can be turned into a killing machine. I would actually say that the closest reference point is Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2, because Sam Raimi, when he was describing The Evil Dead, said it's not a horror movie, it's a slapstick comedy. It's a Three Stooges slapstick comedy with blood and guts standing in for custard pies. There's also quite a lot of sorcerer in as much as there is a big truck, only this time it's not the truck that's in danger of exploding, it's everything else around the truck that is in danger of exploding. And as with John Wick, you do get fantastically inventive uses. There is one bit in which Sisu fights a plane with a plank of wood.
Okay, fair enough.
With spectacular results.
What kind of wood is it? Is it hardwood or balsa wood?
It's the wood that his house was made out of. Because he's got the truck with the wood that his house was made of, that he will then use in various ways to fight everything. And there's another bit in which there's an interface between a missile and a train carriage that he rides like Wile E. Coyote in one of those. I mean, there is a real kind of animated cartoon craziness to it. The screening that I saw, it was first thing in the morning, and there was so much laughter. I mean, it was like much more than you'd get in your average alleged comedy. What you don't get is, I don't know whether you remember it, but in the first film, the first time Sisu starts to, not Sisu, the first time the character starts to be indestructible, you're sort of surprised because he doesn't look like an indestructible person who can take on Humpty Thrumpty Nazis. Well, this time you just know he's never going to die. He's the man who refuses to die. So it's absolutely fine. So just start attempting to kill him and let me watch the inventive ways in which he throws that back in your face. There is, I mean, I keep mentioning the landmine scene because I just remember seeing that in the first film and guffawing just because it was so brilliantly preposterous. In the case of this, it's really inventive. The choreography of the insane slapstick violence is really, really, really creative. And considering, I mean, the interesting thing is the guy who's the lead guy who doesn't speak. He is a very respected theatre actor. He was the founder of a theatre company. He's got a very sort of respectable career. Now, probably best known as this guy who doesn't talk but just dispatches anyone who tries to deal with him. The fact that it's a 15 certificate, the certificate is exactly the same as the certificate on the original, which is 15 for strong, bloody violence, gore, and language, but crucially, not cruelty. So there's an awful lot of carnage and dismemberment, but there's very little pain. Although there is one scene in which our anti-hero is brutally tortured, which is quite painful, but it's going to stop, and then he's just going to kill everybody else. So if you enjoyed the first Sisu, and if you didn't, what's wrong with you? Mm-hmm. This is that, but turned up to 11. So in a way, the comparison would be with, like I said, with Evil Dead 2. It's bigger, slapstickier, and it is remarkable just how entertaining the choreography of the chaos is.
And I guess particularly in Finland, which, as we know, is the happiest country in the world, always comes out. The idea of sort of fighting Russia is very real, absolutely front and center in all of their politics. They have that, as we've read many times, that the longest border with Russia.
That's
and
right.
They permanently lived with the thought that they might come back.
Yeah.
So this probably feels a whole lot. I don't know. Does that make it less funny in Finland? I don't know.
I'll be honest with you. I think that the honest truth is that political context is not to the forefront. It is more nameless or effectively, bad person has done bad things, and now he is going to sort them out. Bring on the planes. I have a plank of wood.
Okay. So realpolitik is not what Sisu Road to Revenge is all about.